Welcome back to Massville. Earlier we were talking about the connection between Springfield College and Martin Luther King Jr. Now, there was a bunch of students who were inspired by this I Have a Dream speech, and now they're inspiring us. So now we have Anne Marie, Fred, and Lori from Springfield College to tell us a little bit more, and later we're going to hear from some students. But set up the course for us. What was the reason behind it, and tell us how it went.
Okay. Well, I'm a part of the School of Human Services at Springfield College, and our role is to exclusively teach adult learners who have demonstrated a commitment to and experience in working in the field of human services. And embedded in our curriculum is a tenet of social and economic justice. So it was definitely befitting for our Core 3 class, which is Social Transformation and Alternative Visions, to have students reflect on important social movements in our history and iconic figures in our history who have created a social and economic justice fabric within our society.
And I think there's few that have kind of motivated and inspired more than Dr. King. Now, what I want to know is what inspired you? So I imagine, I want to know the learning process that took place. I imagine you watched the speech. Mm-hmm. And what was that like for you to watch it?
It's always inspirational when you watch him speak. It's like nothing else is going on. You're just paying attention to the speech, and it just grabs your attention. He
is one of those speakers that really could just take a room and take hold of it. Mm-hmm. And after you watched the speech, what was the process like to start to begin your own I Have a Dream speech?
Well, we had to pick our own social advocate to do our own little investigation on, and do our own speech and our own presentation on someone that we picked. And the class itself is required, but I think if a lot of more people found out about it, they'd want to take it anyways, because it really shows you how one person can do a difference in the world just from speaking up and really stepping forward and doing something.
And I think communication in such a big way, to be able to speak like this, like the King, it builds so much confidence, you know what I mean? And that man, boy, did he have confidence. Now, Fred, I want to hear about your speech. What made you write what you wrote? And if you wouldn't mind, maybe to tell us what yours was all about.
Being a big fan, and in my household, we grew up with the icons of the civil rights movement, Medgar Evers, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Ella Baker, and being part of the course that Professor Brown taught, I got to learn more about those iconic figures, and what I got from the course itself and from Professor Brown was the actual sacrifice that those individuals made. So my speech, basically, it spoke about that sacrifice, and for a lot of them, like, Viola Luiso, who was a housewife who left Michigan, and she saw what happened at the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama, and was inspired to go down and made the ultimate sacrifice, where she was killed by the opponents of what was trying to take place that day. And my speech just spoke to the sacrifice of it all, whereas you can't move forward or evolve without having some type of sacrifice.
And I think the self-reflection is so important too, and you're doing that. And I urge everybody at home today, take a few minutes and think about it, and think how you can maybe have a dream and make a positive change in the world. Let's enact some change. But now we have some of their colleagues to read an excerpt from their speeches, so I'm going to let them take it away.
I have a dream. Wake up, sisters, wake up. We have got to do better. The day has come for us to take advantage of what our great sisters have fought for us to have many, many moons ago. Sojourner Truth, Ida B. Wells, Harriet Tubman, Mary Church Terrell, and many more of the National Association of Colored Women rallied for African American women the opportunity of reaching the highest levels in all fields of human endeavor. Where are we now? Sisters lacking self-esteem, allowing disrespect from a man just for temporary companionship. Sisters having baby after baby as a single parent and living with a self-entitled mentality. Sisters allowing the government to stunt their growth. Sisters out here so bitter and hateful they can't accept constructive criticism from another sister who wants to help her. Well, sisters, I am here to tell you today, we need to change the game. We have followed long enough. Mirror, mirror on the wall, tell my sister she's the strongest of all. Self-respect is a must, for he shall bow at your thrust. Babies are beautiful, but we must do this right, because mommy alone can't guarantee the future be bright. Sisters, wise up and start pursuing your dreams. Don't let the system keep you under impoverished beams. Each one teach one is how we learn. Respect what others tell you and know how to discern. The enemy stays busy with his deceit and lies, but through it all, we must rise. Sisters, by no means is this a judgment call, but a declaration that we come together to build, reunify, empower, and encourage one another to reach the ultimate levels of our potentials. No, it won't be easy because we are all too busy with our own strife, but hold on and lift the sister up, because in the end, you will not be blessed by how far you have come, but by how many you have taken with you. My sister's keeper, I have a dream.
I have a dream that one day women will have fair representation in office, and those in elective office are elected for the promise of their qualities as opposed to the promises made to lobbyists. I have a dream that one day my daughter's efforts at work will win her equal pay to that of her male counterparts, that manpower, woman power would be realized as a woman in power and president of this great nation. I have a dream that one day fair distribution of wealth is a reality and not a perception, that our leaders' ideal vision of fairness is seen through the eyes of the working class instead of the wealthy, and the river of wealth flows freely instead of trickling down. I have a dream that one day our government's standard of living for those forced to live in squalor is higher than the capital they look to squander. That nation, viewed by others as a rich one, feed and house its own children. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day our educators are more influential to our impressionable youth than musical lyrics, that technology continues to help us grow as opposed to stunting our social interactions. I have a dream that our children will one day live in a nation where they are not bullied because they're perceived as different, weak, overweight, or socially challenged, where their cries for help do not turn into the cries of a mother losing her child. I have a dream one day, those placed to protect and serve do so without brutality, but with humaneness, that the terror felt by our African American brothers is only brought on by watching The Walking Dead as opposed to wearing a hoodie. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day the pursuits of political aims are done without terrorism, but instead with peaceful demonstrations. I have a dream that one day our government's investment in higher education is as important as their investment in war. I have a dream today.
Last night, I could find no rest. This morning, I could find no peace. The violent screams of injustice robbed me of sleep. The burglar cloaked in the garbs of oppression. Soaked white sheets rooted my body, tangled, arrested, captured. I lay there tossing and turning, fists clenched and slightly raised. I could hear myself mumbling, "No justice, no peace." I frantically try to free myself from my white cotton t-shirt. I'm shivering from the sweat that has poured from me. It all started as a nightmare. Names and faces trespassed my thoughts, loudly marching on the chords of my cerebellum. Rodney King, Emmett Till, Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, John Crawford, Kendrick Johnson, Medgar Evers, and Martin Luther King, and countless other brown faces gunned down for no reason. Someone felt the music was too loud. Another looked at a bottle of sweet tea, and it was allowed to be a suspicious weapon. My hands are up. Please, officer, don't shoot. Please, citizen, don't shoot. Please, fellow American, don't shoot me. Too late. Zimmerman insisted you don't belong. An assortment of brightly colored Skittles scattered in the red blood of a brown American. Ironically, this assortment of colorful candy treats once sat peacefully in a single bag together. I asked myself, why can't we all just get along? Can this casing of colorful Skittles represent humanity? But maybe I'm dreaming, wishing, or just hoping. I was walking down the street. The wind was violently whipping about. I turned up the collar on my jacket and fearfully, carefully put my hands in my pocket, looking around to see who would say I had a gun, and empty a clip into my back. I couldn't help but quicken my pace.